Today we're talking about measures of center. A measure of center is a measure that describes the typical value of a set of data. So a good measure of center, like the name says, is going to kind of be in the center of all of your data. The median is one example of a measure of center. The median's the middle value in a data set, and to find the median, you would want to order your data from least to greatest and then find that number in the middle. If it turns out there are two middle numbers, we want to average them by adding them up and dividing by 2. That answer will then become the median for your data set. Mode is another example of a measure of center. Mode is the value that occurs most often in your data set. And mode is unique because there is a possibility a data set will have no mode. There's also a possibility that a data set will have more than one number as the mode. Sometimes even 3 or 4 numbers as the mode. The third measure of center is one that we've talked about previously, the mean. And in order to find the mean, we added up all of the numbers in our data set, we found their sum, and then divided by how many numbers were in the data set. So the 3 measures of center are the mean, sometimes referred to as the average, the median, which is our middle number, and the mode, which is the number that occurs most. Some people refer to these measures of center as the 3 M's. So let's practice finding the median and the mode. So when I'm trying to find the median, what I want to do is I want to order all of my data from least to greatest. So when I'm looking at this set of data, the first thing I want to do is find the smallest number in the set. And in this case, the smallest number I see there is 90. And I'm going to keep going, smallest to largest. So the next one would be 105. The next smallest one that I see there would be 120. I see 125. And then the next one I see is 135. There's a 145. We have a 160. We have another 160, so I am going to list it twice. We've got a 175. And there is a 205. Sorry, my list went just a little over here into the mode section. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to work my way into the middle, try to find the middle. I like to knock one off the end, knock one off the end again, until I work my way towards the middle. In this case, I end up with 2 numbers in the middle. And that can happen sometimes. I cannot have 2 medians. So what I have to do if I end up with 2 numbers in the middle is I have to add them up. So the first thing I'm going to do is add these guys, and I get 280. Then to find the median, I take 280 and I divide by 2. So 140 is my median. Now, as I was writing these out, I noticed that none of these numbers were reoccurring except for 160. There were 2 160s. So the only number that occurred twice was 160. So 160 is the mode. Now, if there were absolutely no repeats in my data, I would say there was no mode. If there had been 2 numbers that occurred twice, they would both be listed as the mode. If I had some numbers that occurred twice, but there was one that occurred 3 times, that one would be the mode. So there can be a tie for mode, there can be no mode, but mode is always the number that occurs the most. Another unique thing about the mode is that it is the only measure where you don't really have to have numbers and you can still find the mode. So in this case, people were asked to write down their favorite type of movie, and then all the votes are tallied. We're putting the votes here in what is called a frequency table. So I've listed all the possible answers that people gave, and now I'm going to tally them up. So we had a vote for comedy, horror, another comedy, action, horror, comedy, 2 more horrors. I'm going down the columns. Finally, I've got some drama people, 2 dramas, 2 comedies. When I get to 5, I'm going to do a slash mark like that. Another drama, 2 more comedies, action, 2 horrors, 2 more actions, comedy, horror, action, drama. All right, so I end up here with 5 people who said that action was their favorite, 8 people said comedy, 4 picked drama, and 7 picked horror. So the one here that is our mode, the one that is picked most frequently, is comedy. We can also take our data and make a dot plot. A dot plot is a great way for trying to distinguish which of the different measures of center is the best one to use for your data set. So here we have some sneaker prices, and they vary greatly. So we are going to put them on a dot plot. Some sneakers there cost $20. We have some that cost $31, so just a little past 30. $122, right about here. $37, put that one right up there. $45, $48, another $20, and $65. So now we're going to find the mean, the median, and the mode for all these sneaker prices. So let's start with the mean. In order to find the mean, I have to add up all of the sneaker prices. So I'm adding up 20, 122, 37, 45, 31, 48, 20, and 65. And my grand total, the complete sum of all those numbers, will be $388. And since there are 8 pairs of sneakers, I'm going to then divide by 8. So 388 divided by 8 gives me 48.5. So roughly the mean for a pair of sneakers, the mean price is about $48.50. That's what 48.5 represents in money. All right, let's try the median. In order to do the median, I want to list all of the pairs of sneakers, all their prices, from least to greatest. So I had 2 20s. I had a pair that was $31, $37, $45, $48, $65, and $122. And having the dot plot really helps me to put them in order quickly, because I know I have, for this, I'm looking for only one number between 60 and 70. So it's easy to identify them quickly and make my list. So I'm going to work towards the middle, finding my median. And I've got 2 numbers, so I'm going to add up 37 and 45. And I get my grand total here of 82. 82 divided by 2 is 41. So the median price for sneakers is $41. And then last but not least, the mode. There is only one price here that occurred more than once when I was listing them out, and that was 20. So our mode is $20 for a pair of sneakers. So on the dot plot, I'm going to go back and I'm going to write down, right here we had mode at 20. Our median was at 41, so that's about right here. We had the median. And our mean was 48.5. So about right in here is our mean. All right, so what we have to decide is which is the best measure of center here. So the mean, though it kind of incorporates these two, they're a bit of outliers. This mean isn't really in the center. There's only 2 sneaker prices more than this mean, and there's 6 sneaker prices below that mean. So while it's not a horrible measure, it's not really in the center. Mode is definitely not in the center. It matches the 2 lowest price sneakers, but there's 6 sneaker prices that are more than $20. That would be a very misleading central number. So probably the one that is best in the center is median. There are 4 sneaker prices below and 4 above. It's a good center one. So in this case, I would say that the median is going to be the best. And part of that reason is, though I often like the mean, these outliers are really dragging that mean up a little bit high. So the median would be better in this case. It better represents the data. It's the most central. The mode is too low. And the mean is overly high due to an outlier. This one especially.